Welcome back. You're watching Prime Time with me, Rosanna Lockwood. Could the days of actual dieting soon become a thing of the past? What a story for January. 2023 was the year of the weight loss drug revolution as the likes of Ozempic and Wegovy burst onto the market, forever changing the way we think about slimming down. Now the NHS has begun rolling out a gastric balloon, which is swallowed like a pill and expands in your stomach to make you feel full. It takes just 15 minutes and it boasts 10 to 15% weight loss in just 4 months. Now, naturally, the popularity of so-called miracle products has soared, and so have profits for the companies supplying them. Let's take a look at it. Novo Nordisk, for example, that's the maker of Ozempic and Wegovy. It went from being relatively unknown to Europe's most valuable company. Get this, it boosted Denmark's economy so much that its value has actually overtaken GDP, and the central bank has kept its interest rates low as a result of this company's success for the Danish economy. Similarly, shares of American firm Eli Lilly, that is the maker of drug Mounjaro and recently approved Zepbound, that is up 80% in just 12 months. This company is predicted to be the first trillion-dollar healthcare firm. Overall, increasing consumer demand for these kinds of drugs has led economists to revise the value of the global obesity market, yes, you heard that right, that's a thing, upward from $2.4 billion in 2022 to $100 billion by 2030. With more than half of the world's population expected to be obese by 2035. You can see why there is some big money to be made in this. Here in Britain, things are pretty bad. You know this. In England, young teens are seeing the fastest increase in obesity. A lot of it is down to social inequality. So are things like injections and gastric balloons and pills the way forward? Joining me to talk about all of this is the National Obesity Forum's Tam Fry. Also joining us, City AM's wellness editor, Laura Forsyth. Laura, thanks for joining us. We'll come to you first. You cover the health and wellness market for a financial newspaper, essentially. So talk to us a little bit about the trends you've been noting in these weight loss methods. They must be pretty attractive. I mean, 15 minutes to lose 10 to 15% of your body weight. No wonder it's booming.
Exactly. Yeah, so I guess, after Christmas, everybody is, you put on a wee bit of weight and it's just an easy solution, isn't it? What would you rather, like 2 weeks losing 2 stone, or, having to diet intensely and go to the gym constantly and do it in 6 months? So it's just such an attractive thing to do. And yeah, I think in some senses, it's good for people that are, genuinely unwell and genuinely do need it. But then again, you've also got the downside of people that, they're in decent shape, they've got good health, and they're just doing it as a quick fix. So yeah, there's different ways to consider it for sure.
Now, a lot of these companies like Novo Nordisk that are developing these drugs, they have to meet a lot of regulations, of course, to make sure that their drugs are safe, but also they kind of want to work with big providers like the NHS, surely.
Yes, so it's positive to see that when it's regulated. I guess, it's easy to say to people, go to the gym, eat well, and you'll lose weight, but it's not that simple for so many people. Like for me, I do bodybuilding myself, and it's expensive to like buy fresh food and, high protein food. So people can't help it. They get themselves unwell just through diet because it's cheaper. So, people are in hospital beds, and, if there is a solution to get another person out of hospital bed and better again, then that's great. But I think one thing to consider though is once they've had, like this balloon pill, then what are they going to do after? Are they going to just keep eating McDonald's, but just at a smaller portion? Or are they going to start eating healthily again? So I think the thing to really consider is, nutrition as well. Like, what are they actually eating, and will they just become unwell just by, eating less of bad food? So yeah.
Laura, could you see this market continuing to grow from here for these companies that are making so much money?
Yeah, definitely, for sure. I guess, weight loss is just like a constant battle. Like, you're doing well one day, you see the scales drop, and then one day you're having a bit of a stressful day and you just end up eating like a slice of cake or two, and then it just, it spirals a bit. So it's just a constant battle. And I guess it's just easy to, take a jab and, you don't have to think about it, and you can eat what you want. So yeah, it's one of these things. I don't see it ending anytime soon.
In terms of any kickback on these drugs so far, and you've been covering this story, have you heard any? You know, because a miracle solution sounds great, obviously, but long-term effects take a lot of time to show up.
Exactly that. And I think physically, you know, when people lose weight so quickly, they get, I think it's called the horse face syndrome. So their faces, they just get so hollow and saggy quite quickly. So that's the kind of sign that you're taking the jab. So there's that, obviously. And yeah, I guess as well, if you're injecting something with something unnatural and you suddenly stop, then your body's just so used to taking, you know, something foreign, and then, you know, once you stop, then it's just kind of going to get a bit worse. So it's something that you kind of constantly have to, you know, keep doing like forever if you want, you know, the results to keep going.
Laura Forsyth, Wellness Editor, City AM, thank you very much. Let's turn to Tam Fry in the studio, who joins us from the National Obesity Forum. When you hear about these types of things being widely adopted, particularly this gastric balloon, what do you know about where it sits in the rankings of effectiveness for people with obesity?
Well, the balloons have been around for a long time, but this is the latest model and the best model. And you have to wait a little time in terms of elapsed years to see actually whether it's going to have a good effect or not. I have a lot of faith in it, because the two important things about the balloon is that you can have it at two different stages. You can have it when you're overweight to stop you or prevent you progressing to obesity, which has got to be a good thing, or you have it when you're already very obese and it brings you down to the area in which they can do bariatric surgery, because that is really mammoth task. So it benefits both ways. How much it's used, we'll have to find out in time.